about Josh Berry and this Wood Brothers 21? What about this guy over the last couple weeks, man? Running for a career in the Cup Series, basically, right? Trying to no seat for next year, not signed yet. Trying to figure out what his racing career holds, and here we are running the car, top 5, top 3. Just a good looking car too. Had a good run. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. I tell you what, man, we got a good Wednesday night to go over. A lot of good NASCAR news. Got some contract talks we finally sealed up. Recapping that race there that we had at Richmond Saturday night. And, just catching it all. So I hope you guys are tuned in, ready to rock and roll. And if you're new to tuning in, man, we're going to crank it up. We like to start it out with what we call the word of the day. So the way we play this is basically I'm going to say a word. I have no idea what it is. Every time I say it, take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I love to say it's age appropriate, man. If you're under 21, sweet tea, Kool-Aid, Red Bull, Monster, whatever floats your boat, play along, stay up a little bit late. You got school, man, hey, But last week's word was Richmond, which headed there. I'm sure we said that, probably had a pretty good buzz at the end of the show. So this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, y'all, but play along. So getting ready to get into that NASCAR news, man, and I'll tell you what, damn Ford, them damn Fords are heating up. I'm not happy about it. I'm a Chevrolet man. I'm not happy about these Fords, but I will say this. It seems like it happens every year about the same time. Once we get past the Indy 500, those Penske Fords really seem to come to life. So, and maybe NASCAR gave them a little bit of help with that front stuff that they just changed up a little bit, helping Ford catch up. Nah, I'm kidding, man. But at the end of the day, I tell you what, they are on fire as a manufacturer right now. They're running really well. Now, we'll see once we get away from these short tracks, we'll see if they can maintain that momentum and maintain the good runs that they've been having. But we'll see, man. Right now, they're on top of it. And big shout to Joey Logano, man. I'm telling you, we count him out. Sliced bread does it again. I mean, 2 wins over the past few races. And like I said, you can't count this guy out. 3-time champion. Man, I tell you what, we'll see where it heads. Headed in. We got 2 races left. We got this weekend in Daytona. We'll see how it all shakes out. But he propelled himself, I think, from below the cut line to 9th in the playoff standings right now in the last few weeks. So good run there for 22. Yesterday, really cool deal, man. National Kyle Busch Day. Again, was never a Kyle Busch fan per se, but you got to respect what the man did. 818. I love it. I really hope that they keep this going through NASCAR. I hope they keep it around. I hope that, here down the road when it falls on a Saturday or Sunday, it's a race, tribute. Be awesome, man. We'll see what they do, but a really cool deal, and what a great way to remember a legend of the sport for sure. So it's official. Like I said, man, contract talks. Here's one of them. It's official. We all know who's driving the 48 in 2028. We've been waiting on that. Speculations, this, that. It all rolls back to pretty much who we all thought it was going to be to begin with. At the end of the day, it's Connor Zilisch, man. JRM, Junior Motorsports, is always that farm team for Hendrick. Chevrolet, too, in general. I mean, RCR has their own team out there, but mostly Hendrick. And when Zilisch went from JRM to TrackHouse, I didn't know, but, Justin Marks had put in a lot of money into that specific team to kind of farm somebody out of it. I think it's a win-win. I think that it helped, TrackHouse get that third car and bring somebody in, helps him get his feet wet in the Cup car. He's got another year next year, had a horrendous rookie season. So I hope he shakes some cobwebs out next year. And then in 2028, I hope he's ready to rock and roll. He's young, 20 years old. He'll be 22, 23 at the time, whatever his age will be. Man, I tell you what, if he can't win in Hendrick equipment, I don't know. That might be it, man, which is going to bring me to a point later on the show we're going to talk about. But we'll see what Connor Zilisch can do. But we know he'll be in the 48, 2028, starting it out. And he'll be HMS, man. Seen signing the contract. Jeff Gordon was there. It's official, baby. So if you guys haven't yet, man, go out, like, share, follow, all that social media, y'all. Lawrence does a great job keeping up with all that management. Instagram, Facebook, most importantly, go out, hit that YouTube channel, subscribe. Again, hopefully the more followers we get on it, the more followers that we, the more eyes and following we get on what we do here at Coach's Corner for Checkered Flag for Charity and all the other charitable events, man. We do a lot of cool stuff. So still raising some money, still got that Georgia, game day gift bag going away. Couple couple cups in there, koozies, flags for your car, a bog bag, good-sized bog bag too, man. They're not cheap either. I bought it. I'm telling you, they're not cheap. But anyways, man, make sure you guys are coming out to the Sound Garden, supporting this stuff, and buying some raffle tickets when we got it set up. That's what it's all about. All that stuff and money raised, again, stays local. So like I said, man, follow that social media. Get the eyes on those charitable events. Keep throwing it in, man. All right, man, so some news we've been waiting on to hear. You know, we all know that Greg Biffle, the Biff, passed away January, I'm pretty sure it was, earlier in the year. Horrific accident there in his family, you know, plane accident. Absolutely horrendous. They got a suspect in the home break-in. If you guys didn't know, house was broken into shortly after his death. You know, they thought it was an inside job. Who knows, still could be. They got a suspect caught here in Georgia, matter of fact, of all places. But let's see. Terrell Williams has been identified as the suspect arrested. You know, if he is the one that did break in and steal the stuff, I really hope they rope him up. If he is the one that purchased this stuff to turn around and resell from the people that broke in the house, I hope he damn gives their ass up. But at the end of the day, man, we'll see. You know, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. He's getting ready to find out, man. So glad they got somebody in that. And, you know, hopefully he'll pay his ends for sure. Kyle Larson, baby, wins again there in Knoxville Nationals. That's 4 out of the last, let's see, 6. Yeah, won it in 21, 23, 24, and 26. Guy's on fire, man. You know, didn't know if he was even going to be able to make the event. Didn't think so with Richmond. Rain delay there in Knoxville, drying the track, all these things, prepping the track. Gave him time. Got out of the car, ran, got in a plane, hauled ass down there, man, and ended up winning the National again. I tell you what, you know, hopefully this gives Kyle Larson some momentum there in the 5 camp when it comes to NASCAR. Deadly on dirt. I mean, you can't deny this kid's passion, this man's passion to go out and run. I mean, you know, he's a racer. He loves the dirt. You know, we see it on the track on Sundays and Saturdays, too, in the Cup Series. They've been off. You know, they'll get it together. I have faith. We'll see, man, but hopefully it brings some momentum into that camp. But big hats off and congrats there to Kyle Larson on 4 Knoxville Nationals, man. That's a big deal. So getting into this playoff bubble, man, I tell you what, it's tightened up at the bottom for sure. I think it's kind of separating itself in a way. You know, I'm looking at it. I think there's about 4 guys, and it has grown. You know, SVG, I think, is 50 points above Ryan Preece right there, 16 and 17. You know, who's going to make it over the next couple of weeks really matters on finishing. You know, I think that we can pretty much almost lock it in. If Preece has a bad run and SVG doesn't, I think it's pretty much almost locked up. But we'll see, you know. 50 points can't be made up. A couple bad runs for SVG and a couple good runs for somebody else, the 60 or the one that could slide right in. You know, we'll see. Like I said, I think it comes down to just that bubble position. And, again, it is a pretty good lead, 50 points. But we'll see what happens and shakes out here at New Hampshire this weekend. And we'll talk about it a little bit more next week. But right now, like I said, 50 points. It's kind of between 16 and 17. We'll see what happens. So that'll do it for the NASCAR news, man. My favorite part of the show, the checkered flag for charity, man. If you guys are new to tuning in, what we do here on Rubbin' and Grubbin' is donate whatever car number wins, we donate in. That's $22 going in the bucket right there for Joey Logano. Brings up the year to $899, man. Not too bad for a NASCAR show. So, like I said, we'll keep it rolling, man. We got the raffles and giveaways going. We're getting into the fall, you know, concert series, which is probably one of the busiest times up here at Coach's. Great lineup. If you haven't, go check that out. Follow Coach's Corner Social as well on Facebook. They will, excuse me, keep you up to date on everything going down in the Sound Garden. And I'm telling you, man, we're going to have this set up over the next few months here, raising some money, pushing hard. So you guys make sure, bring some extra cash, come out to these events, donate into that checkered flag for charity. And like I said, all stays local. Get yourself a pat on the back, man. You know, you're killing 2 birds with one stone. Good deed done and a chance to win something. So, you know, definitely stay tuned. Getting ready to get into the who's hot and who's not. But before we do, we're going to pause for station identification right here. Coach's Corner Sports Network. Hey, man, hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Cheers, y'all. All right, man. So before we get into the who's hot and who's not, give a big shout out there. My main man, Parker Eccles, owner-operator over there at Arbor Man Tree Service. Locally owned, locally operated, fully insured. Like I said, man, the best tree service in the Savannah area. You'll see that number scrolling. Make sure you give Parker and his team a call. Like I say, doesn't matter what it is. Full tree removal, stump grinding, some limbs cut back, need an estimate. Hey, just give that number a call. Parker will slide through, give you an estimate, man. Like I always say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby. So get into that who's hot and who's not. We'll crank it up with the who's hot, man. Again, it doesn't change, y'all. Dennis the Menace, Denny Hamlin stays number one. You know, maybe not the dominating performance at Richmond that we've seen him have throughout his career, but I tell you what, found a way to have another good run there. It's what he does week in and week out. I mean, when you look at those top 10 finishes on the year, 14 compared to everybody else, I mean, he's got them smoked, right? This guy, week in and week out, is fast. And again, I told you, until somebody shows me something different, Dennis the Menace, Denny Hamlin in the 11 will stay number one. 2 for me, I hate to do this, man, but you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's Joey Logano. Heating up, man. This guy is heating up. I tell you what, win there at North Wilkesboro, win again at Richmond. Third place finish there at Iowa. I mean, come on. This guy's on fire right now, you know. I don't know where it comes from. I really don't. You know, running around, hanging out in the back, and then all of a sudden, man, here we are getting into the nitty-gritty and when it starts mattering, and Joe Logano turns it on. I mean, we've seen it his whole career, you know. I'm not a fan of the third championship. I'm not a fan of the third championship. I'm definitely not a fan, right? Now, again, he said it best. Everybody knew the rules going in, played by the rules, he won it. But I don't know how you have a guy that wins a championship and you say the best in the sport and 17.2 or 3 average finish on the year. That just doesn't float my boat. But, you know, again, it potential right here. He could have 4. I mean, potential, man. You know, you can't count the 22 out. He's been around long enough. He knows how to race all these tracks. If they give him a good car and he qualifies good, be on the lookout, and he's going to run good. So, like I said, 22 heating up at the right time. Another guy, again, here, I'm telling you, that is on the verge and due is Christopher Bell. Again, 7 runner-up finishes on the year, finds himself good in points, doesn't even have that win yet. I mean, a win for Christopher Bell will lock some points in for sure. That'll definitely change some things around for him. So going into New Hampshire, a place where statistically Christopher Bell runs really well. Again, I think it's somewhere you have to watch out for him. I think they're heating up at the right time. I think the biggest thing for Christopher Bell is that inconsistency. You know, it's out of the blue having that 30th place run or something happening or a mishap on pit road. If we can avoid those over the next few weeks, I think Christopher Bell, again, locks himself into the playoffs already. But, again, I think that he finds himself in a better position with a win. So we'll see if they go out and hunt one down. All right, man, that'll do it for the who's hot. We're going to go into the who's not. And, again, I said it last week, but I'll change it up. I won't do him number 1 this week. Tyler Reddick, even though he did get a top 10 right there, finish at, finish here at Richmond this past weekend, I still don't see the dominance. You know, now, our interesting statistical data that they gave out last week about Tyler Reddick is the overall speed, you know, data chart. Like, it shows you your speed week in and week out everywhere we go. Tyler Reddick is one of the top 5, if not top 3, every week. Even if he's running 21st, he's one of the fastest cars out there. So I think for them it's not a question of speed. I think for them it's the question of execution. You know, they need to find that mojo that they came into the season with, and they need to start building it back, because right now it's not looking good as we move forward into these playoffs. Again, we've talked about it with the new playoff format. I really, you know, everybody thinks it's going to come out of the top 7, and I think it's probably even going to come out of smaller portion than that, just because of how equal all those guys are and how many points you can gain and lose on a week if you have a bad run, right? Or if you don't. If we get through four races of this playoff, and, you know, the top 5, 6, 7 guys are finishing top 5, 6, 7 every single time, it's not going to change that much, right? So we'll have to wait and see. But right now, Reddick is on the not list. Definitely has to get it back rolling. So another guy on the not list, the watermelon felon, is Ross Chastain. Look, over the last couple of weeks, I give hats off. Has had some better runs, showing some speed. But, man, I tell you what, they are down and out over there at TrackHouse. And we are going to talk about something coming up very similar very soon about TrackHouse and what is actually going on there. I mean, it's making some moves. And how you go from winning races year one in this next-gen car to, you got a guy in 16th with SVG in the playoffs and him winning races, but the guy that you would expect to win and contend on ovals, Ross Chastain, isn't doing anything. So we'll talk about it a bit more, man. And last but not least on the Who's Not, you know it. It's Hendrick Motorsports, man. Again, top 10, all 4 top 10. I'll take it, right? We're building back, but man, we got a long way to go. These guys are just not performing speed-wise, and that's the biggest thing. Is like we are not able to keep up with Toyota and Chevy passing cars. If we're out front, which we never are, maybe, right? But we don't ever get to see it out front. All we get to see is how we come through the field. And right now, Chevrolet just cannot pass. Dirty air affects that Chevrolet worse than anybody else out there right now. So, again, we'll see what they can do. We'll see if they can get it turned around. But at the end of the day, HMS, Chevrolet, they got some catching up to do, man. So getting into that Richmond recap, baby, I'll tell you what, a great race there Saturday night at Richmond. Classic Richmond. I mean, really is. Tire wears, everything. Tires matter so much there. And I tell you, the pit sequences, were awesome to watch there. Whether it was 5 laps after, 10 laps after, 20 laps after, it was always a busy place. We saw a couple mishaps happen to a couple different people on pit road there. Again, Richmond just brings it all. It really does bring in that NASCAR vibe. Pit crew's got to execute. Got to manage your tires well, especially with cautions. Thankfully, we didn't have that many there at Richmond. We'll see how it all runs out and went down. But I tell you, it was good. Young Ryan Blaney, man, looked to be dominant again early. Looked to be the car to beat in stage 1. Again, didn't turn out that way at the end of the race. But I tell you what, 12 car brings speed again. Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe, I mean, we're kind of the class of the field all night, to be honest with you guys. Those guys really ran. It was between them. One had the shorter run with Briscoe, and it seemed like Logano was better over that longer run. Those two guys really just fought it out all night long, with Logano getting the best of them and getting that victory. As I stated earlier, couple wins there for Logano out of the last few, heating up. Ford in general, we'll see again what happens when we get out of these short tracks. We'll see if Ford can maintain the momentum. But I'll tell you what, right now they are hot, man. They are definitely heating up, and Logano is leading the charge for sure. So, Hocevar made a mistake, man. I tell you what, shifted 5th to 3rd or something, blew her up, sir. Hate that for him, But at the end of the day, it happens. Make mistakes. Costly at this point in the season, though. They got to get that straightened out. Again, another team that really needs to find that momentum and consistency or run top 10, 12, 15. They need to find that, getting ready to run into these playoffs, or they will find themselves on the outside looking in really quick. A guy for honorable mention right here, man. What about Josh Berry in this Wood Brothers 21? What about this guy over the last couple weeks, man? Running for a career in the Cup Series, basically, right? Trying to no seat for next year, not signed yet. Trying to figure out what his racing career holds, and here we are running the car top 5, top 3. Just a good looking car too. Had a good run. Maintained that track position and found a way to make it count. I think that Josh Berry, if he can do it again this week and kind of continue to build off of that momentum, maybe open some eyes up, there is some seats out there that are a possibility. 33 with Austin Hill is not a done deal. They are not, they want to sign, but they hadn't reached an agreement. I could see Berry going there. I could see a couple other guys that have contracts up at the end of the year. Maybe one of those guys going there. We'll talk about it in a bit, but hey, he's fighting for a job, man, and I like to see him running good. So. Hats off to Austin Cindric as well. All these damn Fords. I'm telling you, that's all I get to talk about today is Ford, I guess, Anyways, Austin Cindric, man, another good car. Penske, all 3 of them running good there at, Richmond. The 2 car had a really good turn. I mean, it looked like at one time probably had the best center off turn in the whole race out of everybody that was out there. Just, the amount of space that he made up throughout that night was awesome. So, again, another guy needs some good runs. I think he's 15th in the points. He's got a good 67, 70-something points above the cut. Needs a good run, though, this week. Go ahead and kind of lock that down and get a little better feel headed into Daytona. But, again, hats off to Austin Cindric. Another Ford running good. So, all in all, man, great race there at Richmond. Again, Saturday night, what can you ask for? I love it. It's tires. It's the pit stops. It's watching when they pit, how they pit, the strategies to pit. Man, I tell you what, there's some guys that went home with a set of tires, and I don't know how you use that set of tires. The one team, I was telling Lawrence earlier, the one team that I wish they would have ran something a little different would have been Bell. Stayed out there a little bit long when Logano and the leaders were pitting. You know, he got the lead back. I don't know, had 18 laps on the tires, 20 laps more on the tires than Logano and Briscoe, and they were, I don't know, 10, 12 seconds back. He should have stopped and pitted right then and there and put the tires on. The last set that he had. Now, do I think that it would have got him to win the race? No, but I think he finished 8th. It probably would have kept him inside the top 5. Probably would have kept him on that same strategy. Probably would have drove his way back up there to the top 5. Just saying. So, we'll see. You know, you never know what happens. We'll see how it all works out. But, you know, you got to roll the dice. He was praying on a caution. Didn't happen. But, again, all in all, awesome race for me. I love it. Love Richmond. Love going there every year. Love the Saturday night, race there. So, hopefully that stays and we keep it rolling. Back in the chase next year. Back to a playoff race. So, all in all, good race, man. Lawrence, we're going to crank something up new next week. Actually, we're going to crank it up when we get into the playoffs. Lawrence had a great idea. We're going to rate the race. We're going to start rating the race for, attendance, coverage, the track itself, the racing on the track. We're going to start, rating these racetracks, all right? So, headed into New Hampshire, man. Before we run this preview down, we're going to pause for station identification right here at Coach's Corner Sports Network one last time. I'm telling y'all, it's hot. It's hot out here today. I'm sweating bullets just talking about NASCAR. Dan's out here looking at me. I'm already in the hole with him because of these damn Fords too. I'm telling you, man, I can't win. Can't win. I need these Chevrolets to crank it up for me. You know I'm on again for this week. I'm giving it to you. I'm digging myself the hole. I figure once we get in and out these short tracks, maybe I might actually be able to do something, but we'll see. But we are on, sir. All right, man, the Magic Mile, baby. New Hampshire, probably one of the coolest damn trophies you get in NASCAR, an 18 to 20-pound lobster. Loudon the Lobster, man. They'll cook it for you and all, baby. I tell you what. Ryan Blaney won this race a year ago. Can somebody, beat him with that? Is it his time to take the checkered flag with Ford dominating over the last few weeks? Who knows, man? You'll have to tune in Sunday to find out, but better yet, make sure you come out right here at Coach's Corner, Savannah's home for NASCAR in the Sound Garden. It's going to be an awesome weekend, man. Got a lot of good stuff going down. We'll talk about that in a bit, but going to be a great race there at New Hampshire. 1 mile track. That's why they call it the Magic Mile. I think it's actually a little bit over a mile. Blaney is not my number 1 pick. We're getting ready to run it down right here. The top 5, baby. Number 1, I've been doing it, and I'm going to stay on it until he wins, man. And he's won here before, and I'm telling you, I'm taking Christopher Bell. I'm taking C. Bell, number 1, again this week for me. I want him to get a win. I really like Christopher Bell. I like him as a race car driver. I like him as a person. I think that he carries himself with an extreme amount of class, the way he races on and off the track. He would have been a great fit over at Hendrick, but, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. So, anyways, man, I'll take him number 1, 2. Dennis the Menace, baby. Come on, man. Denny Hamlin, again, I told you the guy's good. New Hampshire, maybe not the best, but I still figure he's got to give it a good run. Qualifies good. He's got to give it a good run. Could contend for a win, so I'll take him 2. 3, guy that's been dominating as of late, Joey Logano, sliced bread. I'm not leaving him off the list. I did take him, for the come ahead, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Or I did take him in the show last week for a dark horse, but I'll take him this week for a win. 22, heating up, Ford in general. 4th for me, I'm going the 12 car, baby. All right, I'm going Ryan Blaney. I like what Ryan Blaney does. Again, very fast. Just got to get away to finish these races out front and maintain that track position. Pit crew, mistakes on track, whatever it might be, strategy. Just make sure to get out front, stay out front, and I think the 12 can contend for sure. Hey, last but not least, I don't do it often, but y'all know I'm not leaving without a Chevrolet. All right? And I'm not taking Larson as the Chevrolet this week, all right? I'm taking my boy. I'm taking the Bulldog this week at New Hampshire, all right? Good career average finish there at New Hampshire, okay? I liked what they did last week. I like that they got out there and had a top 5 car and stayed in the top 5. If we can do that again this week, I'll be very happy, especially if we can move it up towards the front. We'll see if the Bulldog, Chase Elliott, can get it done. That'll be my top 5. Dark horses, I almost put this guy in the top 5 list. I really debated it. I just don't have the faith quite yet. But I just talked about him. Josh Berry, Wood Brothers 21, has the best average finish, career average finish at New Hampshire in the next gen. Right? Well, we raced there 4 times. This will be the 5th. Josh Berry's only raced there twice. But he only finished outside the top 3, I think, once. 2nd and 3rd. So, you know what I mean? Like, the guy's good. Again, really good momentum. Seems like they've been able to bring a really good car the last couple years to New Hampshire. I'll take him again as a dark horse. 54, Ty Gibbs got to be on the list this week. Shot himself in the foot there at Richmond. Killed the momentum. Really good average at short tracks over this year. I expect the 54 to come back and rebound and have a good run. We'll take him. And last but not least, man, you know, this is a guy, again, fighting his way into the playoffs. Had a really good run going there at Richmond. Strategy kind of came back to bite him. 60, a Ryan Preece, man. I'll take the 60, you know. We'll take Ryan Preece out there. I'm fighting for him. I'd love an RFK car. You know, we got Busher, locked up in there. I think he's 10th, 8th or 10th, something like that. So Busher is in there with consistency, which we hadn't talked about Chris Busher in a while. But I will say, I do like Ryan Preece. We'll take him. And, man, I tell you what. We'll see who can get it done. So make sure you guys are tuning in Sunday, New Hampshire, 3:30, I'm pretty sure. So should be a good race, man. And like I said, come out to coaches, man. Savannah's home for NASCAR, baby. So getting ready to get into this money line, baby, presented by Redfin Polarized, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Italian frames, Carl Zeiss lenses. These things are made for the woods or the water. Doesn't matter if you got a wall hanger or money on the line. Make sure you see it clearly, again, with the planet's best polarized sunglasses, Redfin Polarized. So many different polarization options, man. Doesn't matter what color lenses you need for your fishing, your hunting, whatever it is, date night, frame style, they got you covered. Swag, shirts, man, they got some cool stuff over there at Redfin. So make sure you go check the website out. Hit checkout. Make sure you use code Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Save you 15% at checkout, man. As always, as I say, live life fins up. Redfin Polarized, baby. Money line. Woo, hold on. Free AC right now. Man, that breeze feels good. All right, man. All right, man. Money line. Look. Young Ryan Blaney is favored at 350, plus 350, all right? Not bad. Not bad. I mean, you gotta like that, all right? I mean, you know, if you're a Ryan Blaney fan, he won here last year, at least you're in the positive. At least it's not 100. You know, hey, C-Bell and Joey Logano rounded out right there. I think C-Bell comes in at 450. Logano's right around 5, and then you got Kyle Larson, 450 or 5, and then you got Kyle Larson right there at 600, or 12, excuse me. And that's amazing. Yeah, he hadn't won in a while, but Kyle Larson at 1,200, man, you got to take that, I'm thinking. So it's a week where winners outside of those top 5 guys, C-Bell, C-Bell, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, those guys are all sitting up there, pretty tight in odds. Big win opportunity for the outside of those guys. I'm telling you. Like I said, Larson, plus 1,200. Chase Elliott, plus 2,200. Tyler Reddick, over 1,000. I mean, Ty Gibbs, over 1,000. Briscoe, up there, plus 850. I mean, these guys all have really good potential to go out and win. So the value is there. Again, top 5, top 10 odds should be good. I mentioned them earlier. Josh Berry. Anybody and everybody that's got a shot. I mean, even some of these bigger name guys, top 10, top 5 value, top 3 values have to be in the positive and got to be good. So we're going to see what we lock in. We're going to be taking probably a couple of those favorites favored at the top. Probably be a little bit of a lower week. Yeah, we're going to see. Last week, man, I tell you what, didn't really get the bets locked in. We did get the trucks locked in, but wasn't even worth talking about, obviously. But I will say this. We didn't get them locked in for the Cup Series. Unfortunately, we missed it. But plus 20,300 units on the year. Not bad. We're up a little bit. We'd like to be up more. So we're going to see what we can do this week at New Hampshire. And we got our fingers and our toes in the sand, money in the bucket for Daytona. Because I think Daytona, other than Talladega, is going to be one of those last wild card, big shootouts, it being the cutoff for the playoffs. And, not only that, it's Daytona. So we'll see, man. But make sure you guys are following us out there on X, formerly known as Twitter. Lawrence does a great job posting all that stuff. So lock that in, follow us, and would love to see what slips you guys are locking in as well in your bets, man. So make sure you're posting them up for sure. So getting ready to get into that hard right turn, but before we do, got to give a big shout out to Lamar's Body Shop. 35 plus years taking care of all of Savannah's auto collision needs. The best auto collision center in the Savannah area. 2301 Skidaway Road, hop, skip, and a jump away from Coaches, man. You'll see that number scrolling as well. So make sure you guys are giving Lamar and his team a call. Doesn't matter what it is. Need some parts replaced, paint job, man, need an estimate for insurance company or an estimate on what it's going to cost. Make sure you're stopping by Lamar's Body Shop, 2301 Skidaway Road. Hey, swing by. As I always say, why settle for par? Go see Lamar, baby. So, hard right turn, baby. Contract talks and free agency in NASCAR. And it's different than any other sport, man. I'm telling you, it's different than any other sport. There is no trade deadline. There is no, hey, we'll run them halfway through the year and then we'll swap it out for this. Never seen it before. Now we've seen guys get fired and somebody else be in the car, or injured, somebody else be in the car, right? But we've never seen, mid-season car swaps, right? Because it's just not the way it works. Full season points, ownership points, yeah, but driver points and yada, yada. I mean, it's a lot going on, right? So we're in those talks now, and we see these guys signed. NASCAR, you don't really see what years they sign on extensions. You hear about it later on down the road. Multi-year extension, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. We all, everybody does it different. Contract talks, man, the way this works, what is the median and what is the criteria for, contract talks? Have you been running average finish? How many wins you have? What sponsors you bring to the table versus, what sponsors the team ownership brings to the table. All these things matter in these contract talks, right? And that's why you see guys like Austin Hill, that haven't re-signed yet. Got the call up. Is that really who they want to see in the 33 permanently? I'm a firm believer it's a no. I'm a firm believer that, yeah, he bid his time, and look, he does decent down in Xfinity Series, but Cup Series, he hasn't found a knack, hadn't even had a good run yet. Doesn't have the respect of the garage area by no means. So, again, you fell into a thing where it's a tragedy happens. Somebody's got to fill in. They chose him. I probably would have personally taken Jesse Love, and you might be talking Jesse Love filling that car for the next few years instead of going to Wood Brothers. But, again, that's part of these contract talks. So, we know Noah Gregson's coming back to front row. Again, they waited. What's out there? What's this? Here's something interesting. TrackHouse. All 3 drivers, contract talks, end of the year. SVG's contracts up, end of the year. Ross Chastain, contracts up, end of the year. Obviously, we already know Connor Zilisch signed with, Hendrick Motorsports after 28. Who's going to drive the 88 and 28, right? We know who's driving the 48, who's going to drive the 88. Who drives the 1 car next year? Who drives the 97? I mean, could we see Ross Chastain going over to RCR? If the sponsorship and the money's right, could we see him leaving Trackhouse and going over there? Could we see SVG do the same thing if a ride opens up, somewhere that big money gets thrown his way and goes, hey, sponsor, a team, if they can get a guy like that, can go, hey, look, we can win multiple races a year. Look at SVG. We got him now, right? All these things come into play. It's the numbers come into play in a lot of other sports: touchdown passes, running yards, receiving yards, tackles, sacks, interceptions, hits, stolen bases, home runs, outs, strikeouts. All this stuff comes in. ERA. I mean, it's different statistical data that we use, right? But NASCAR, like I said, is different in that fact of driver value comes through, monetary sponsorship money. Driver value, yeah, you can win, right? But you can go out and be a young guy that's not proven in the Cup Series and get a lot of wins and not have sponsors, and then be like, hey, you're going to pay $350,000 to come over and race. You want to do that? No. All right. I mean, it's a very different sport. Now, I think that what we're seeing this year, it's not a huge free agency year. It's not a lot of big names. We did have a big ride, with the 48. But again, the contract talks, man, how you let all 3 of your drivers, 2 of your drivers end up in contract talks at the end of the year just blows my mind. I would think that somebody behind the scene didn't structure these deals right, 1 year longer than the other on different years and so on and so forth. But, if they're comfortable with it, I mean, be comfortable with it. I would just hate to see something happen to Justin Marks and Trackhouse where both these guys go, I'm out. And now here you are scrambling to fill the seats in 2 Cup Series rides out of the Xfinity Series or the Cup Series, right? And not saying there's not talent. Josh Berry's out there. I mean, guys are out there, right? So it's just interesting to see. Would love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on the contract talk to NASCAR. I would love to see a guy actually race midseason. I would love to see that happen one time. Like a team be like, no, we're going to run a guy for a year and a half, type thing. Like free agency, we're going to swap it up. Like, maybe not organizational, like swapping guys, but let's say, the driver of the 9 is going to go and drive the 48. You know what I mean? For the second half of the year, because we're swapping it around. I mean, who knows, man? It'd be awesome to see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. What do you guys think about not only the Zilisch move at Hendrick, which I think is a little lackluster, and obviously we're basing that off of his production this year, his rookie season at Trackhouse. But, would love to hear what you guys think for sure. All right, man, that's going to do it for the rubbing. We are on to the grubbing. Look, it's been a while since I've been up here on Wednesday to do some grubbing. I went with a classic I've been craving lately, man. I've been craving a good old burger. I went with just the good old home run. The Grand Slam is where it's at. They're both good. It's just an added patty, man. Hey, I'm telling you, half-pound patty, grilled to perfection the way you like it. Those cut fries, baby, pickles, onions, lettuce. I'm going to hit it up with some hot peppers when I get home, which we'll have some rubbing and grubbing hot sauce here at about October. So we'll be sending that out to a few lucky listeners if you like hot stuff. We'll have a little contest for that. Some Carson Hocevar fans, if you will. Pepperheads, as I like to call them. But anyways, man, if you haven't yet, you guys come up to Coach's. Check out this menu. Everything is amazing. Doesn't matter what it is, from the salads all the way to the pizzas, the calzones, the burgers, the wings. Everything is to die for, man. A million different ways to get it. Make sure you guys are coming out, supporting this great local restaurant right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia, man. Hey, telling you, that's where it's at, baby. Come on out, support it. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. We got the man, the myth, the legend coming right here on after me, 7 o'clock tonight. We got Coach Carl Demasi in the house running down that Savannah Sports Report, keeping you up to date, everything going down in the area. I mean, I know you guys heard the news. Not only did we get women's basketball, we got indoor football, man. We got indoor football coming to Savannah. Going to be awesome. Coach going to get you up to date on that, keeping you up to date on all these great high school and prep sports athletes that we got in the area. And football season cranked up, baby. We're on it. So a lot of good local athletes, a lot of good high school football going down in this area and in the Southeast. So make sure you're staying tuned to Savannah Sports Report right here live at Coach's, 7 o'clock. And go hit up the YouTube channel, man. Make sure you subscribe to Coach Demasi out there at Savannah Sports Report. It is awesome. I'm telling you, man, you got a young athlete up and coming. Want him to get some seat time, behind the mic time, some screen time, pump his brand. Make sure you're giving a shout out to Coach Demasi reaching out. I'm telling you, knows it. Great platform for all these young athletes, man. So make sure you guys are paying attention to showing out. But that's going to do it for me. I'm out of here, baby. Getting ready to go cool off for a little while. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday night. Again, come out this Sunday. We're throwing it down for New Hampshire in the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner, Savannah's home for NASCAR, man. Hey, take care of each other, man. It's hot out here. You see somebody struggling, help them out, man. Buy them a water. Take care of your people out here. Hold some doors. Tell them you love them, man. Like I said, do something nice today. That's all it's about, man. Do something kind for somebody else and be a good human. It's not hard. As always, love each other. Stay safe. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Till next time, as always, wash your hands, y'all. Woo! Boy.